Thank you, thank you. So, as you know, my name is Austin Green. What you might not know is Austin Green is an anagram of genuine star. It really is, it's fucking amazing. So can I say what a privilege it is for all of you to spend some time with me tonight. Now, last Saturday, I was sat with my family up in the Lyceum Theatre in London, waiting for the start of the spectacular and huge West End musical, The Lion King. Now, I don't know if you know, but the start of The Lion King is this amazing scene when all the animals come down through the auditorium and down through all the audience, and there's like huge elephants and giraffes, there's birds flying in the sky, the lions, and they all converge on stage to sing that opening song, The Circle of Life. Now, The Circle of Life is a remarkable song. It's essentially about births, deaths and marriages, but it does look at whether life is destiny or whether it's just chance and coincidence. And it's a real feast for all the senses. So as a middle-aged man, sat in a theatre on a Saturday night, having had a couple of gin and tonics before the show started, what do? That's right, I fall instantly asleep. And it's, do you know what, it's a really trippy kind of dream. And in this sort of comatose state, I start to spiral through all of the events in my own circle of life. So my first memory is being born into an Irish family. Now, an Irish family means a Catholic school upbringing, just the way it is. And it's there that I had my first crush. She was beautiful. Brown hair, blue eyes, well-proportioned. She was lovely, Sister Teresa. She was lovely. Of course, it all ended on the day that she embarrassed me in front of the whole class by saying, Austin, what right-minded girl called Teresa would marry a boy with the surname Green? And she'd end up Teresa Green. That would be ridiculous. I was crestfallen. In fairness, I thought the biggest problem we had was that she was 63. So the next two events in my circle of life concern the death of my mother and the death of my first marriage. Now, I grant you, not events that offer immediate comedic material, however. So let me take you back about 30 years. It's a cold, wintry day in a London churchyard, and me and my sister are in front of my mum's graves. And we're reading the words that my dad has had inscribed on her gravestone. Here lies Kathleen Mary Green. I've got to be honest, us Irish love to shoehorn the name Mary in as far as we can get it. It's always a first name, middle name, confirmation name. Anyway, here lies Kathleen Mary Green. Loving wife, loving mother, loving daughter, and my mum was a talented actress. And in a nod to that, my dad had put a little inscription on the bottom that just gave a nod to the last musical that she was in, and he put Our Own Sweet Charity. Now I turned to my sister and was like, I didn't know that Mum's last musical was Sweet Charity. It wasn't. What was her last musical then? Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Thank God he got that wrong, in fairness. So fast forward about 6 years, and I come home to the marital home one night, and my wife's out, and I come across a shed load of paper in which she's written reasons to stay and reasons to go. I'm shocked. I was more shocked with the fact that the reasons to go is like as thick as a fucking encyclopedia. The reasons to stay, just the one night. What would happen to our Oliver? The cat. Really? Needless to say, she left, the cat left, and I was left with no hope. For a few years, until I met my current wife. So I'm just having a look. Face like fucking thunder, she hates her. Anyway, she's a bit of a yogi. And this being Brighton, and me being very flexible, I obviously have to get involved. So she introduces me to Maya, or Maya the Monster, as I like to call her. Sort of a cross between your bamboo yoga pants, lovely little yoga instructor, and basically a female dominatrix. And she gets me into all the poses. So there's downward facing dog, child's pose. I'm actually very good at corpse pose, that's what I'm good at. I've invented a couple of my own. So there's the beached whale. That's the one I use to get out of most of the poses that she puts me into. And then there's the famous middle-aged man, stood on one leg, swaying in the wind, trying not to fart. She actually threw me out of the class last week because apparently I misinterpreted half moon pose. Fucking embarrassing. Anyway, I come out of the slumber in the theatre and I have a look around, and do you know what? Then it starts to dawn on me. Because I am sat there with my wife, Teresa. I really did marry a girl called Teresa. She is Irish, and her middle name is Mary. And she sat there with my stepson, not the cat, Oliver, my stepson. And my life is full of hope now, because that's my stepdaughter. And I'm actually sat next to my 7-year-old granddaughter, Maya. Now you tell me, chance or coincidence, or is this destiny? And actually, I forgot that Maya is actually a twin, and her sister's name is Soraya. And the meaning of Soraya is the brightest star. Isn't that lovely? And I'm reminded of the scene, and her favourite scene is in The Lion King, when all the bright stars align in the sky into the shape of Mustafa, the dead king, and he booms down to Simba, remember who you are, remember who you are. So I remember who I am. My name's Austin Green. I believe it's been my destiny to be on this stage tonight. And you know what? It's actually been my pleasure and in my privilege to spend time with you. Thank you.